We are lucky enough to have the set designer, Andrew Lieberman, here to talk about this fantastic set and about the Plaid, because everyone loves the Plaid wallpaper. I think you went through some incarnations back here about other things that the walls could be. Mm-hmm. What else did you consider, and how did you land on the Plaid?
Okay, so yeah, that was sort of a fun process. We designed the show fairly quickly. We used some computer techniques that I had never really used before. And what it did was it allowed us to look at a lot of options really quickly. So it was actually really useful. But Pete describes the hotel room in great detail. And it's really beautifully observed, actually. You know, it's like, you don't always have a playwright who articulates with such detail like every little nuance of the room. But the way he wrote the room was a sort of idiosyncratic room. Like it could only exist in one place. Very atypical. It was extremely colonial in nature, and I think he describes the trash can as having like a drummer, a sort of revolutionary drummer. Oh, am I getting ahead of you?
I have it actually.
Okay.
He says, busy Revolutionary War patterns on the wallpaper, bedspreads and cushions, wastebaskets like drums, ashtrays like porringers, lamps like lanterns, cheap Currier and Ives prints on the walls. Early American. So a kind of kitschy,
right, very kitschy. So
Revolutionary War themed room.
So, I sort of read that and I thought, okay, that's interesting. And I think one of the first things I said to Lila was, I'm not so sure about that. I feel like it diminishes the text. It feels a little too specific and not universal enough. So I thought, well, we talked about where do we want it to land? Do we want it to be very corporate, in other words, have much less personality? Or do we want it to be very idiosyncratic and maybe a family-owned type motel? And that's more along the lines of what Pete wrote. So I think we ended up somewhere in the middle there. And so we tried a lot of things. We tried, I can't even remember. We tried the Revolutionary War wallpaper. We tried a lot of stripes. We tried a lot of, I think we even tried wood paneling and et cetera, et cetera. So we had this research photo from a wonderful hotel somewhere in Massachusetts, North Dartmouth, Massachusetts, that we loved. And it had these colored bedspreads, and it had brown wood paneling. And Lila and I were like, yeah, we don't really want to do wood paneling. Everybody does wood paneling. It's easy. We're not going to do wood paneling. That's the easy choice. But what's like wood paneling? So I thought, let's just try Plaid. So we just did it. We just tried it. Because I was using the computer, it was really easy. We tried like 3 or 4 different Plaids. And it just stuck. It was just everybody we showed it to was like, oh yeah, that's the obvious choice. It's just Plaid. It's got to be Plaid. Why would it be anything other than Plaid? Then we had this meeting, this kind of lovely meeting where we showed Pete the set. And Pete was like, yeah, Plaid, of course. Yeah. It's got to be Plaid. So we just went with the Plaid.